So let me share my screen.
Yes.
So yesterday we have seen um, about the SDLC phases, like requirements phase, and what is going to happen in the requirements phase, and different terminologies we have seen, like what is requirement, what is quality, what is product, what is quality assurance, quality control, bug, defect, and remark. Coming to the SDLC, yes. So uh, two uh, levels we have discussed, like requirements phase and the analysis phase. So let me brief you on this before going to with the design and further phases. And any software development lifecycle model, these are all the two things will be there, like what are all the different statuses, like requirements, analysis, design, coding, testing, delivery, and maintenance. So in the requirements phase, what will happen? So business analyst, project manager, and test lead, development lead will go to the client location for gather the requirements, and they come back to the company, and business analyst will prepare the requirement document based on the discussion with the client. So that requirement document will be shared with everyone in the team, and business analyst will give some sessions to the entire team to make them understand about the requirements. So the output from the requirements phase is, yeah, software requirement document or functional requirement specifications or business document or business design document. Any of the document BA will prepare and share it with the entire team. So next go to the analysis phase. Again, six surface will be there. Like the analysis means analyzing the each and everything. Whether are we able to do it in or not, whether we can able to complete it in on time, on budget or not, how many team members are required, and what are all their roles and responsibilities, and planning part. So these are all the things will be happening in analysis phase. Next we'll move to the next phase, design phase. In the design phase, majorly the architects are going to involve, architects will be involving, and they will prepare the low level design document and high level design documents. See, simple. Whenever we want to construct a house, first blueprint is required for us, how the plan of the house is. Okay. So based on that plan, yeah. So the people will start according to that plan and they will follow. That is about the designing part. So same in the design phase, majorly the architects people will involve, and they are going to prepare the low level design and high level design documents. How exactly we need to develop the application. What are all the functionalities are there? What are the integrations are there? So that part will be taken care by the architects. So they will involve and they will prepare the low level and high level design documents. Okay. So they are going to use UML, Unified Modeling Language, for designing the or for developing the design documents. We no need to worry what is UML and all, because we're not involving in preparing the design documents. Usually architects will prepare that. So they will use the UML, Unified Modeling Language, to develop the design documents. Okay, based on these design documents, the development team will start, and the development team will develop the code based on the design documents. Similarly, whenever we want to construct a house, so first design is very, very important. Based on that design, everybody will follow and try to complete the house. Similarly here also. So design documents are very, very important, and it is prepared by the architects, and they will prepare low level way and high level way, how we are going to develop the application. So what are all the integrations are required for it? So where and when we need to develop which module and all. So these all will be taken care by the architects people. So based on the design documents, everybody in the development team will follow it, and they're going to develop the source code for that. So that is going to happen in the design phase. Okay, once design documents, everything is ready. Next phase is coding phase. So what is going to happen in the coding phase is, see, the development people will be involving here, and they are going to develop the source code for it. So they're going to develop the source code. So the participants here are developers. Developers are going to involve, and they're going to develop the source code. Based on the design documents, they will develop the source code for the application. And even in real time, we are not going to get complete application at once to the testing team. Part by part, we are going to get it from the development team. Part by part, we are going to get it from the development team. So in that case, they will develop some source code for some module, and they will give it to testing team, and testing team has to test the application, and we need to ensure everything is working. If not working, again we will raise the bugs to the development team, and they will fix it. Again, we are going to perform the retesting. Retesting means verifying the same bug functionality, whether it is working fine or not. If again not working, then we will send it again back to the development team for fixing. So yeah, coding phase, the developers are going to involve, and they're going to develop the source code for the each and every module. And so they're going to give the in agile model. Anyway, we are going to discuss in the next sessions, but the trending model nowadays is agile. Okay, but I will give you knowledge on traditional models also. Yeah, waterfall model, spiral model, V model and all, but some of the projects they are using, but most of the companies are migrated to agile model, because they feel that in the agile model only will allow us to change the requirements at any point of time. So that is the reason agile model is very much famous nowadays. Even in interview also, they will ask questions on agile model, how the process, real-time process and everything. So very clearly we will discuss in the coming sessions. Yeah. So coding phase, the developers will be involving. They're going to develop the source code. Once code is, some part of code is done, then they're going to share it with the uh, testing team, and we need to perform the testing on it. Okay, so that is what going to happen in the testing phase. Next, our phase. So testing phase, what we are going to do in testing phase, again some subphase are there. In the testing phase, test plan, we need to plan all the testing activities. Next, test development. So at the end of testing phase, you will understand what are all the responsibilities of a tester. Test development, test execution, results analysis, bug tracking, reporting. These are all the phases in the testing phase. These are all the phases in the testing phase: test plan, test development, test execution, results analysis, bug tracking, and reporting. So one by one, let me see. See, first one in the testing phase. See, overview testing phase is for the testers, where we need to perform our testing on our application. We are going to perform testing on our application in the testing phase. But in order to perform the testing on our application, we have to follow these all phases. We have to follow these all phases in order to perform the testing. So the first one is test plan. Okay, so test plan usually prepared by the your test lead, or your manager, test manager, or test lead will prepare it. Okay, plan test manager or test lead will prepare it, and this is the first document we are sending it to the client. This is the first document we are sending it to the client for approval. It contains schedule, when we are starting and when we are ending, and who are all the teams are there, team is there, and what are all their roles and responsibilities, what is in scope, what is out scope, what are all the functionalities needs to test, what are all the functionalities need not test, what are all the different type of bugs we can raise it, and bug life cycle will be there. Okay, so these are all the various things. Anyway, in the coming sessions, I am going to show you practically the practical with test plan, and I will explain you. But test plan is the document, is the first one. We are going to send it to the client for approval. Once test plan is approved, then we are going to start with the test development activity. So test plan is containing mainly the schedule part, when we are starting and when we are ending. So in the test plan document contains various things like in scope, out scope, as I told you, in scope functionalities, out scope functionalities, who is the team and what are all the roles and responsibilities, and schedule, when we are starting and when we are ending, what all the bugs testing team can raise it. So all these things will be there in test plan. So usually it is prepared by your test lead or your manager will prepare that. Okay, so this is the first document we are going to send it to the client for approval. Once test plan is approved, then we are going to start with this test development phase. The test development phase is very important phase. What we are going to do in this phase is we are going to prepare test scenarios and test cases. Test scenarios and test cases we are going to prepare. So in the test development phase, we are going to very important phase, this one. So we're going to prepare the test scenarios and the test cases. So what is test scenario and what is test case? Test scenario is something like high level verification point, what we need to test. Test case is a low level verification point, what we need to test. Let me take a Facebook application. Facebook login is there. Okay, so you need to verify whether login functionality, and you need to verify all the UI things in the Facebook page. So what is the scenario for that Facebook login page? So verify the Facebook login functionality, or verify the Facebook login page. That is your scenario. In that scenario, you are going to create the test cases first. So there are usually 4 type of test cases will be there: functional positive, functional negative, GUI, and field level validation test cases we need to prepare. Okay, so there are 4 different things: functional positive test cases we need to prepare, functional negative test cases we need to prepare, and GUI test cases also we need to prepare, and field level validation also we need to prepare. So these 4 are the different type of test cases usually we need to prepare. Okay, functional positive, functional negative, GUI, field level validations. Okay, functional positive talks about test your application with positive data. Enter the valid username, valid password, click on it. That is functional positive. Functional negative test cases means enter the invalid data and verify the error messages are properly coming or not. Enter the invalid data, whether application is blocking us to perform uh, next things or not. Okay, whether it is blocking or not, with invalid data we need to verify. GUI test cases means graphical user interface, whether that button is there or not, text field is there or not, links are there or not. So we need to verify all these things, existence of the different controls on our application, that we need to verify in the part of GUI. Field level validation talks about, for example, as per the requirement, username field should allow only alphanumeric special characters, and the length should be 5 to 10. For example, length should be 5 to 10, and it should allow alphanumeric with special characters. So If you are entering only numeric, it should not allow. That is field level validation. If you are entering length more than 10, it should not allow. If you are entering less than 5, it should not allow. Without special character, you are giving the username, it should not allow. So field level validation usually there on text fields, okay, and we need to verify in the text fields. We need to verify length is working or not, data type of the data is allowing or not. We need to verify. That is about the field level validation cases. Okay, so functional positive means playing with the application with positive data. Functional negative means playing with the application with the negative data. GUI means graphical user interface, where you are going to verify the text fields, buttons, and links, everything is available or not. So field level validation means, so you need to verify the length of the text field or the type of the data the text field is allowing. All those things you need to verify. So these four type of test cases we use to prepare for any application. Okay. So test cases are derived from the scenarios. Scenario talks about a high level, test case talks about low level. Yeah. Scenario talks tells us that high level what we need to verify. And in that to cover the high level scenario, what are all the test cases we need to verify? We need to look into that. So test cases are derived usually from the scenarios. Okay, so there are four different type of test cases we use to prepare for any scenario: functional positive, functional negative, GUI, and field level validation test cases. Okay, yeah. So this is about the test development phase. In the test development phase, we are going to prepare the test cases. Okay, fine. Next is test execution phase. You are going to prepare the test cases, right? So in that test cases, uh, what are all the test cases are there? Those test cases we need to perform step by step on your application, and you need to verify whether actual and expected results are matching or not. So in the test cases, we need to write the steps, each and every step very clearly. Like test case, you need to log in into the Facebook, enter valid, open the browser, enter the URL, open the username, enter the username, enter the password, click on submit, verify user is able to log in. That is your test case. Same steps you need to perform on your application, and you need to verify whether user is able to logging in or not. If by entering the valid username, valid password, click on submit, if user is able to log in, that test case is pass. Though with the valid data user is not able to log in, that test case will be failed. That test case will be failed. So we need to have actual result and expected results. Actual result means what application is giving. Expected result means what you are expecting from the requirement document. So actual and expected both are matching, then your test case will be pass. Otherwise your test case will be fail. So actual result means what application is giving. Expected means what you are expecting based on the requirement. So if both are matching, so actual and expected, then our test case will be pass. Otherwise our test case will not be pass. When test case is failed, when actual and expected are not matching, then we need to update it to the development team for fixing. So that is what is going to happen in the test execution. So what will happen in the test execution? Based on the test steps, based on the uh, based on the test steps in the test case, we are performing all those steps on application and verifying the actual and the expected results. Verifying the actual and expected results. Okay, that is what going to happen in the test execution. So whatever the test cases we are having, we need to perform those test executions on our application, and we need to verify actual and the expected results. Actual and expected both are matching, then our test case is pass. If both are not matching, our test case will be fail. Okay, that is about the test execution part. So you no need to worry. In the future sessions, I will cover you how to prepare, what is the template of the scenario, what is the template of the test case. So how we need to prepare the scenarios, prepare the test cases. I will help you on that. Yeah. So next, results analysis. Result analysis talks about how many test cases are passed, how many test cases are failed, how many test cases are passed and how many are failed. So this talks about, yeah, so once we are performing the test execution on our application and we are verifying the actual and expected results, if both are not matching, then the test case will be failed. Both are matching, the test case will be passed. So once we have executed all the test cases, we need to verify. So how many are passed, how many are failed. For the failed test cases, is they are failing genuinely, or do we have any issues with that? So that we need to verify, like whatever the test cases are passed or failed, we need to verify whether actual and expected results are matching or not matching. If not matching, for example, then what is the reason behind it? If it is a genuine issue or not, we need to verify. If it is a genuine issue, then the next part will be bug tracking. We need to send those bugs to the development team. Okay, bug tracking. Send the bugs to the development team. Their job is to fix it. Their job is to fix it. So bug tracking is when any test case actual and expected are not matching, you're going to cross check one more time whether it is working according to the requirement or not. If you feel that something is not working according to the requirement, you are going to send that issue to the development team for fixing. So that is what they're going to do. We are going to do in the bug tracking. We will raise issues to the development team. Then they will verify whether it is a bug or defect, so or remark. So as I told you, bug is the, while raising the issue, it is a bug. Once it is accepted by the development team, then it is a defect. Once they are rejected, then it will be a remark. Okay, testers should not have more and more remarks. Okay, testers should not have more and more remarks. You see, when the remarks will come, if you are not clear with the requirement, then remarks will come. If you are clear with the requirement, then we will not get the more and more remarks. Okay. See, if development team is rejecting the issues, it means that you are not clear with the requirement. You are not clear with the requirement. That is the reason they are rejecting. That is the reason they are rejecting. So, yeah. So in that case, so if you are getting the more remarks, it means that it is a black mark for testers. We should not get more and more remarks, because so if remark is getting, so it means that you did not understand the requirement thoroughly. Okay, yeah. Next, last part is reporting. What we need to do, we need to send daily status reports, weekly status reports, monthly reports to the client. What we have done today, usually this report contains three things: what we have done today, what is planned for tomorrow, any issues you are facing today, and how many test cases you have executed, how many are passed, how many are failed. For failed ones, what is the bug IDs. All these details we need to put it in our reports. Okay, so this is about the SDLC, all the phases. Last phase is pending, delivery and maintenance. What we are going to do in delivery and maintenance, we are going to deliver the application to the client, deliver the application to the client, and support him for any issues he is facing while using the application. Okay, so we are going to deliver the application to the client, and maintenance means so we are going to support him if at all he is facing any issues. That is about the delivery and maintenance. Okay, yeah, so let me brief you on all these phases. So SDLC phases are very, very important, guys. So you need to understand all these phases. You need to understand all these phases, then only, yeah, you can able to understand further things and all. So totally, as I told you, sub phases will be there in SDLC. Requirements. In the requirements phase, we are talking about the, so the people will go to the client location and they will gather all the requirements and they will prepare a requirement document. Usually BA will do in traditional models, but in agile model and all, it will be taken care by the product owner. Yeah. So, but no need to worry. In the agile model, we will discuss in the future sessions. Yeah, that is about the requirement phase. Next, analysis phase, we are going to analyze the requirements and we are going to perform the feasibility study on it. Okay, whether we can able to complete within given timelines and budget or not. And selection of technology and environment, we are going to do which technology, which environment. And team building activities, we are going to form the team of developers and testers and database team and everyone. So next, analysis. So the BA will provide the sessions to the entire team, and based on those sessions, everyone in the team can able to understand the requirements. If at all any questions will be there, then we can update to the BA to clarify all his questions. And understanding, once requirement analysis is completed, then we're going to send the understanding document to the client. And yeah, planning part, yes. So project manager will be involving and he is going to prepare the plan, like development plan and test plan. So that document will be sent it to the client for approval. So that is done. Then design phase. In the design phase, as I told you, architects people are involving and they're preparing the design documents, low level design and high level design documents. And they're going to use the UML, Unified Modeling Language, for developing the design documents. Yeah, coming to the coding phase, so the developers will develop the source code, and based on the completion of the source code, they will give it to the testers, and testers job is to test the application. Again, in the testing phase, 6 sub-phases are there, like test plan. It contains, test plan is containing all the information related to the testing team, like what we need to test, what we need not test, what is the schedule, when we are starting, when we are ending, and what are all the different type of bugs we can raise it, and what is the bug life cycle. Okay, what is the acceptance criteria and the rejection criteria, all the things will be there, but in the future sessions I'm going to cover very clearly. Yeah, next, test development phase. We are going to prepare the scenarios and test cases. Why we need to prepare scenarios and test cases is we cannot keep in our mind what to verify and all. So that is the reason we need to put whatever we want to verify, whatever we need to test, everything we need to put it into a document. That is nothing but scenarios and test cases. Whatever you are planning to test on application, everything you need to put it in the form of scenarios and test cases, so that nothing will be missed and it will be more chance for us to deliver the quality application to the client. So that is about the test development. And as I told you, there are 4 different type of test cases we used to prepare, like functional positive, functional negative, and GUI, graphical user interface, and field level validation test cases. So these are all the 4 different type of test cases usually we will prepare for any application and all. Next, test execution. Test execution is something like we are going to execute all the test cases. Execute means performing, sorry, perform step by step based on the test case. You're going to perform all those steps uh, on your application, and you're going to verify whether the result what app is giving is matching with the expected results as per the requirement. Actual result is what application is giving, expected result what you are expecting based on the requirement document. So if actual result and expected results both are matching, then your test case will be pass. Then your test case will be pass. Okay. Uh, or if actual and expected both are not matching, then you need to raise it to the development team as a bug. So they will look into it and they will provide us the information on that. So that is about the test execution and results analysis. Next, bug tracking. Send the bugs to development team. So there are n number of bug tracking tools are there, but in this course we are going to learn Jira. In the Jira, how we need to raise the bugs along with agile process. Agile process, everything we are doing in Jira only. Okay. So let me learn Jira part practically. Let me learn Jira part very practically, like how it will be in real time and all. Yeah. So coming to that bug tracking part, all the bugs we are going to raise it in Jira, and we will assign it to the development team. The next part is reporting part. Reporting part contains daily status reports, weekly and monthly status reports. Based on those reports, the client can understand where we are and what we are doing and what are all the other issues we are facing, and all everything will be covered in the reporting part. Next, delivery and maintenance part is talking about we're going to deliver the application to the client, and also maintenance we need to provide. Like once he started using the application, he may get some issues. We need to give support from our end to him. So this is about the SDLC phases. Okay, this is about the SDLC phases. Whatever we discussed so far, in any model, these phases will be same. In any model, these phases are same phases will be there. Like you can take waterfall, but the process is different. You can take the waterfall model or spiral model or incremental model or V model, agile model. Phases are same. No change in the phases, only the change is process. The process will be changed. Okay, so that is only the difference. Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, okay, sure. So fine. This is about the SDLC part. Next, very interesting topic we are going to enter into. That is testing methodologies we need to learn. What is testing methodologies? Okay. So what are all the different ways of testings we are going to do? Next part is testing methodologies we are going to discuss. Yeah. In the testing methodologies, usually four are the different type of testings we are going to perform on our application. So when and where we are going to perform which type of testing and all, let me try to learn. So there are four different methods of testings we usually perform. Those are static testing we can perform, static testing we can perform, and static testing, white box testing we can perform, black box testing we can, yeah, black box testing. Next, gray box testing. So testing methodologies, it means testing methods. How many methods of testings we are going to perform on any application in order to deliver quality application to the client. In order to deliver quality application to the client, what are all the different type of, I mean different methods of testings we are going to perform on our application? So the first one is static testing, white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing. Static testing means, okay, static testing means, so before you get the application from the development team, before you get the application from the development team, you need to, in the static testing, you need to verify all your documentations are correct or not. Documentation may be your scenarios, your test cases. It may be anything related to your project. So static testing is something like you are going to verify all your documentations and your process, everything is correct or not. If we write the test cases and scenarios properly, we can able to test those test cases, and it will be a more chance for us to deliver the quality application to the client. So that is how in the static testing, it is very beginning testing. So in the static testing, we are going to cover whatever the documentations you are having, like scenarios and test cases. You are going to verify whether it is according to the requirement or not. If it is not according to the requirement, then we need to update and share it with the, yeah. So we need to correct those documents, I mean. So usually in the static testing, we are going to follow three techniques: reviews, walkthroughs, and inspections. These are all the three techniques usually we will follow: static testing, white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing. So first one, static testing we are discussing. So static testing is something like before we are getting the application from the development team, we need to verify all our documentations and process whether it is according to the company standards or not. Okay, why we need to do static testing? Because if you did not prepare the test cases properly, you missed some test cases, it means that you are going to execute same test cases on your application. If you are missing the test cases, obviously at the ending what will happen? You are missing to test some functionalities, and if those functionalities having bugs, then you are missing the bugs. It means that you cannot able to deliver quality application to the client. We cannot deliver quality application to the client if at all we are missing the test cases. So that is the reason, before we get the application from the development team, we need to review all our things whether it is correct or not. Okay, so by using reviews, yeah, by using reviews, again reviews are two type of reviews will be there: peer review and lead review will be there. I will tell you what is reviews. Okay, so reviews talks about, reviews, walkthroughs, inspections talks about verifying the documentation, verifying the process, whether it is correct or not. We are going to validate one more time, we are going to verify one more time whether we are following the company standards or not. That is what we need to verify it in the static testing. The first one in the static testing, what we are going to do is reviews. Review means verifying some document. It may be a test plan document, it may be a test scenarios or test cases, whatever it is, or requirement document, anything. So we are going to verify whether it is correct or not. We are going to review the documentation whether it is correct or not, whether we are following the company standards or not. That is about the reviews. If that review part is taken care by your colleague in the company or in the project, that is about the peer review. If review is done by your lead, that is the lead review. So peer review and as well as lead review. Peer means your colleague. Your colleague is doing review of your documents, is that is the peer review, and your lead is doing the review of your documentation, that is lead review. But reviews are informal. There is no prior intimation, there is no prior time and all. At any time your lead or your colleague will ask you, and you can immediately schedule it and you are going to discuss it. So reviews are more and more informal. Informal means there is no prior intimation. Walkthroughs are little bit prior intimated, at least 1 to 2 hours before, and what we are going to discuss on it and who are going to involve. But when compared to reviews, walkthroughs are bit formal. Yeah, at least 1 2 hours before we are going to get the notification what we are going to discuss and all. Okay, again same thing, walkthroughs also we are going to do the same thing here also. So we're going to verify the requirements, maybe test scenarios, test cases, or your process, anything we're going to discuss here. But in walkthroughs, some moderator will be there. He is going to note it down whatever we are discussing. Moderator job is to note it down each and everything whatever we are discussing. That is the job of a moderator in the walkthroughs. Last one is a inspection. This talks about more and more formal. So uh, at least so 1 to 2 days before we will come to know what we are going to discuss and what is the agenda for that meeting, who are involving in this meeting. Even sometimes client people also may involve. Even sometimes, yeah, the client also will involve, and he is also going through the things. Yeah. So that is about the inspection. So it is more formal. Here also moderator will be there to note it down whatever we are discussing. At the end, MOM, minutes of meeting, will be shared with the entire team. MOM means minutes of meeting document. It is containing what we have discussed. What are all the action items are there for each and every one. What they need to complete and when is the target date for that to complete. So that is about the MOM. So in walkthroughs and inspections, everyone in the meeting will get the MOM, minutes of meeting. And yeah, so but reviews are more informal. So no moderator, you will be there. Just it is an informal meeting. So yeah, this is about the static testing part. Static testing means before we are entering into the actual testing, we need to verify our documentation is proper or not. Our documentation is correctly or not. So that we need to verify. It may be a requirements document or scenarios or test cases, anything it may be. Okay. So we are going to verify in the static testing. Finally, output from the static testing is whether we are having the quality documentation or not. If we are not having quality documentation, we need to make it more and more quality without missing any scenarios, without missing any test cases. Okay. So that how we need to perform the static testing. The next one is a white box testing. White box testing is the one who is done by the development team. Once they develop the source code, usually it will be done by the development developers. So white box testing is something like they are doing before they are going to give the application to the testing team, they will do some sort of testing. And in the white box, usually what will happen is, so they will do testing through source code. Through source code, they're going to perform the testing. They're not doing testing through GUI. They are performing the testing through source code. So through code, they are going to test the application functionality. That is about the white box testing. So as a tester, there is no guarantee like we know particular language and all. The application may be developed with Python, Java, C Sharp, any language. If you want to test through source code, we need to know that language, right? But as I told you, as a tester, do we need to know any language? No, we need not required to understand any language. So that is the reason we all are black box testers. White box tester means who can able to test the application through source code. That is the job of a development team. White box testing, why again you may get a question here. So we are anyway continuing with our testing, why we need to do the uh, white box testing by the development team? That is correct, but if whatever they developed it, they keep on giving it to the testing team. We are identifying more and more bugs. It is the drawback to the development team. We are identifying more and more bugs. It means that development team is inefficient. Development team is not strong enough to understand the requirement. Development team is not following the standards or not covering the requirements. So Develop testing job is to identify number of bugs, but development job is to reduce the number of bugs. If more bugs are coming, then it means the development team is inefficient. Okay, so that is the reason even development people also do some sort of testing before they're going to give it to the testing team, but they will do the testing through source code. That is about the white box testing. Okay, that is about the white box testing. Why they named it as a white box? If something is there inside of white box, white glass, yeah, then we can able to see what is inside. If black color box is there, we cannot see what is inside. So why they named it as white box means, since it is done by the development team, they know what is inside. It means source code and all. We all are black box testers. We don't know what is inside. It means how they did the coding and all. We don't know. Our job is to test from the GUI, graphical user interface. Yeah. So white box testing done by the development team. Okay. So why we need to perform, as I explained you, development job is to reduce the number of bugs. For that is the reason they will do testing before giving it to the testing team. Black box testing is something like testers are doing. We don't know what is inside, how they coded and all. We are doing testing through GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, so what is gray box testing? Gray box is combination of white box and black box. Who can do both, then we can call it as a gray box. Okay, so white box and black box, yeah. Who can able to do both white box and black box, then we can, yeah, he is a gray box tester. So in the old days, 1970s, 80s and all, uh, if we consider, maintaining a separate testing team is not mandatory those days. Developer only will do the development, developer only will do the testing. They realized in the 80s and 90s that without maintaining the separate testing team, they are not going to get the quality. They're not going to get the quality if at all they're not maintaining the separate team. So that is the reason. Yeah, so in the beginning of the software era, yeah, gray box testers are there, but nowadays no company are maintaining gray box testers. Most of the companies are not having gray box testers. Development team is doing the white box, testing team is doing the black box. You may get a question, sir, if you will, if somebody can able to do both white box and black box, that is good. That is correct. Let me give you a simple example. You are making something, okay? So for example, our mother is there at home. She is preparing some curry for us. She is going to, once she prepared, she will taste it. For her, everything is very good, and she tries to serve it to the all of us, and we observed that some, yeah, improvements are required for that, like salt is less or chili is more. See, why we are identifying it, why our mother not identified those things in the beginning? Because she is preparing it, so she understands that everything is fine, no issues in that. But when we are doing, we will come to know what is the problem in that. Similar passion, development team is developing the application. They feel that everything is according to the requirement. They did not understand. They did not understand where is the problem and all. They feel everything is working according to the requirement. But when we are testing, then we will come to know what are all the errors are there, what are all the bugs are there. So that is the reason companies are not maintaining gray box testers. Who developed the application, they feel that everything is correct. But when they given it to separate testing team, then they will come to know what are all the errors are there. So that is the reason the company started in the 80s, 90s to maintain the separate testing team for testing. Development job is to develop it, Tester job is to test it. That's it. We have to maintain, the companies maintaining the separate testing team. You believe or not, some companies, for 2 developers they are maintaining 5 testers, and some companies 3:5 ratio will be there, 3 developers and 5 testers. In the Google companies and all, yeah, some cases 1:5 also will be there, 1 developer, 5 testers. So that is the importance of a tester. So we no need to worry about whether openings will be there testing or not and all. Always openings will be there for testing. We no need to worry, because until development is there, and so testing also will be there. We no need to worry, because day by day the applications are enhancing, improving. Number of features, advanced features are adding. Those all we need to test it, right? Without testing, how it will be released into the market? There is no break for enhancements. Okay, so the people are started, yeah, innovation part. So they are adding a number of features, a number of improvements they are adding it to their applications and all. So there is no stop for improvements. Always improvements will be there. When technology is growing day by day, always, yeah, improvements will be there, enhancements will be there. Okay, so when enhancements are there, obviously testing team is required to test all of them. So until development will be there, testing also will be there. We no need to worry about that. So we need to concentrate more on the manual testing part, the process and everything we need to learn in the manual testing, and expertise in the scenarios and test cases. And you need to be more expert in how to raise the bugs to the development team. And in the agile process and all, there is a scrum meeting will be there. We need to attend a sprint planning meeting. Okay, so some meetings will be there which we need to attend, those all meetings. So as I told you, in this course I'm going to cover the Jira tool. Jira tool is for the bug tracking and as well as agile management. Agile management and bug tracking I'm covering here. So if at all we know all these things, that is about the manual testing. That's it, not more than that. As I told you, the responsibilities of your manual tester is understand the requirements, prepare the scenarios and test cases, execute the test cases, results analysis, bug tracking, raise the bugs to the development team, and reporting. And if at all it is agile model, attending the sprint planning and scrum meeting. Okay, so follow the sprint and try to complete the stories in the agile model. That's it. That is the agenda of a tester. That is the responsibilities of a tester. If we know all these things, then manual testing, yes, we can able to survive. But as I told you, the openings are very less only for manual testing, because still the company is having requirement on manual testing. So they are recruiting the automation people only. So, yeah, they want to utilize them for both manual and automation testing. So if they are having requirement and only manual, still they are taking the automation people into the project, because in the future they want to utilize for both manual and automation. So that is the reason manual testing, yes, it is very much required for every tester, because no application can be automated 100%. No application can be automated 100%. We can able to automate max by 60% or 70%, and the remaining things we need to test manually. So automation is not the replacement for manual, just it is continuation to the manual testing. Okay, yeah. So let me come back to the testing methodologies part. So 4 different type of methods of testing will be there: static testing, white box, black box, and gray box. Static testing talks about reviews, walkthroughs, and inspections. Review is more informal meeting, and any document, scenarios, or test cases, your peer is going to review. Peer means your colleague in the team. That is a peer review. Your lead is reviewing. That is a lead review. So finally, our intention is to get the quality documentation. So in reviews, walkthroughs, inspections, all our intention is to get the quality documentation. Why quality documentation is required? If document is quality, then obviously we're going to deliver the quality application to the client. If you are missing scenarios, if you are missing test cases, those test cases you are not going to execute, then those may have bugs, then we cannot able to deliver quality application to the client. Yeah. So reviews are more informal, walkthroughs are bit formal, and a moderator will be there to note it down. At the end of the meeting, after the meeting, we are going to get the MOM, minutes of meeting document. So what are all the action items and who is going to do what are all the things and all, everything will be noted down in that document. Okay. So that is about the walkthrough. Inspections is along with our team. Sometimes the client also may go into involve in it. So they're going to verify any document, whether it is correct or not, whether it is an on track or not, we need to verify. It is also more and more formal, at least 1-2 days before prior intimation will be there, and we are going to get it from the, yeah, whoever is conducting the meeting. So we're going to get it from them. So that is about the inspections. Next, white box testing usually will be done by the development team. Development team will perform the white box testing. And yeah, so as I told you, why they need to perform the testing, they want to reduce the number of bugs in the testing phase. If more bugs we are getting, then it means that it is a black mark to the development team. So to reduce the number of bugs, they will do their own testing, white box testing, and then if they feel that everything is working, then only they will give it to the testing team. And black box testing, we are doing testing not through source code, we are doing testing through GUI, graphical user interface of the application. So similar passion, gray box, it is kind of combination of white box and black box. But as I told you, in the beginning of the software era, 70s, and also to reduce the cost of the team, and they maintained gray box testers for both development and testers. But nowadays and all, no gray box testing, everybody need to do the uh, black box testing only. But development people will do their white box testing, and they can give it to the testing team. We are going to perform the black box testing. That is about the software testing methodologies. uh, any questions on this?
No, sir, we can continue.
Sure. So yeah, this is about the testing methodologies. What are all the different methods are there in the uh, what are all the different methods are there in testing phases, we are seeing in the testing methodologies. Okay. Next, so again we're going to have white box testing levels are there, black box testing levels are there. Different type of testings, what all we are going to perform, we will be seeing. White box testing levels and black box testing levels will be there. So those levels we will be discussing. Yeah. So first thing is white box testing levels. Okay. White box, who is doing who is doing white box testing? So white box testing is done by the development team. Development team is doing the white box testing. Again, they're going in the white box testing, they're going to perform two levels of testings they used to perform on the white box testing. That is, one is unit testing, second one is technical integration level testing. These are all the two levels of testings development team usually perform before hand over the application to the testing team. One is unit testing, second one is technical integration level testing. Unit testing is something like we are going to perform, I mean, a development team is going to perform each part of the source code, whether it is correctly working or not. They will pass the inputs to a methods, and they are going to get the output from those methods, whether it is correct or not. So each part of the source code they are going to verify. That is nothing but unit testing. Okay, so I mean other way how we can tell is each module they are going to verify whether it is working correctly or not. Each module they are going to verify whether it is working correctly or not. Each part of the source code they are going to verify whether it is working correctly or not. So through source code they are going to do the unit testing individually, each and every functionality. Individually each and every functionality we are going to verify. That is about the unit testing. So each and every functionality we are going to verify. Yeah. So each functionality is working correctly or not. That is about the unit testing. Through source code they are going to verify. Development team will verify through source code. That is about the unit testing. Next, technical integration level testing. What will happen is in the technical integration level testing, they are going to have the they are going to have the each module connected or integrated. What are all the modules the development team is developing? Everything they need to integrate. Everything they need to combine. So while combining and all, so there are two approaches will be, or three approaches will be there while combining the modules from the development team. One is top-down approach, bottom-up approach, hybrid approach. So top-down approach, bottom-up approach, and hybrid approach. Technical integration in the sense it is going to integrate each and every module from the development side. They will integrate each and every functionality or each and every module, and they are going to verify from one module to other module the data flows are happening properly or not. That is nothing but integration. Integration means combining the modules or combining the functionalities. So they are going to perform combining the modules or combining the functionalities. They will do testing through source code from one module to other module. Data is flowing properly or not. That is about the technical integration level testing. But while integrating the different modules, while integrating with the different modules, so they need to follow some approaches like top-down approach or bottom-up approach or a hybrid approach. Top-down approach is talks about first parent modules will be developed, and then child modules will be developed, and then sub-child modules are developed. So from parent to childs, okay, first main parent and then sub-parent and then mod childs and then sub-childs. So top to bottom you are going and integrating, that is a top-down approach. Bottom up approach is first childs you are going to, sub-childs you are going to develop, and then you are going to develop main childs and then sub-parents and then parents you are going to develop. So this is just for your understanding. Nobody will ask you how the development team is integrating, because this is the job of a development team. We no need to worry about it, but just for our understanding I am explaining you how they are integrate the different modules and all, what are all the approaches they will follow in integration. This is just for your understanding. Try to understand it. So yeah, so three approaches they can integrate and they can perform the technical integration: top down approach, bottom up approach, and a hybrid approach. So top down approach is talks about first main parents they're going to develop, and then sub parents, and then main childs, and then sub childs they're going to develop, and they're going to integrate. That is the top down way. Next, bottom up way is first sub childs they're going to develop, and then childs they're going to develop, and then sub parents they will develop, and then main parents they will be integrating. That is about the bottom up approach. Hybrid is any combination of bottom up or top down is the hybrid combination. It may be a first they can develop main parent, and then they can develop a sub child, and then they can develop a parent, sub parent, and then they can develop a main childs, whatever the way they want. It is mixing of top down and bottom up. That is nothing but a hybrid approach. Okay, these three approaches the development people can integrate. These three approaches the development people can integrate all the modules like top down or bottom up or hybrid approaches. So that is how it will happen. Technical integration is something like we are integrating the modules. We are integrating the modules, and while integration, what are all the different approaches the development team will follow is they may integrate in top down approach or bottom up approach or a hybrid approach. Okay, so if parents starting from parents to coming to the sub childs is a top down, starting from sub childs and then they will integrate until the main parent, that is the bottom up. Hybrid means combination of bottom up or top down is hybrid approach. Okay, so that's fine. So, and two more terminologies I need to cover here. We may have chance in the interview and all. We may have chance to ask in the interview stub and driver. In the top down approach, okay, in the top down approach, some functionality. Let me take in the top down approach. Functionality one is developed. Functionality two is developed, integrated. Functionality three is not developed, and functionality four is also developed. Only functionality 3 is not developed, but functionality 1 and 2 are integrated. 2 need to integrate with 3, 3 need to integrate with 4, for example. But F3 is not developed. But development team want to give F1, F2, F4 for testing. Okay. Without F3, we cannot integrate F2 and F4. No data will flow from F2 to F4. Then what we need to do? But development team planning to give F1, F2, F4 for testing, because they don't want to wait until the F3 is not developed. Until F3 is developed. They don't want to wait. They want to give F1, F2, F4 for testing. In this case, this F3 part, functionality 3, they are going to maintain some temporary code. To process temporary code, they're going to use in top-down approach, they're going to use this temporary code, and by using this temporary code, they will integrate F3 and F4. But it is not the main code. Just to process the data from functionality 3 to functionality 4, they will write some temporary code and they will integrate. This temporary code, this approach is nothing but stub. The temporary code, whatever they are using to integrate the modules in top-down approach, that is a stub. The temporary code they are using in bottom-up approach, that is called driver. Okay, so why we need to use temporary code? Because other modules are developed, only one module is not developed, but that module integrated with different modules. So development team don't want to wait until that module is completed, so then they can give it for testing to the testing team. But instead of the main module, they can write some temporary code to process the data from one module to other module. So that temporary code in top-down approach we are calling as a stub. That temporary code in bottom-up approach we are calling as a driver. So this is about the stub and driver. This is about the white box testing levels. So white box testing levels talks about how the development team will perform the testing. They usually perform two type of testings. One is unit testing. In the unit testing, we are going to verify each module whether it is working correctly or not. Each functionality whether it is working correctly or not through source code. Technical integration, they're going to combine the modules and they're going to verify whether the data flows are happening from one module to other module or not. That is nothing but technical integration level testing. Whether the data flows are happening properly or not from one module to other module, we're going to verify. That is nothing but technical integration. So what is stub and what is driver? Stub is something like in the top-down approach. Top-down approach, we are going to uh, use some temporary code. Some temporary code we are using in top-down approach. So that is nothing but stub. Why we need to use stub and driver means, see, if some module is not developed but other modules are developed, but still the development team is want to give it for testing to the testing team, then instead of the main module they're going to replace it with the temporary code which will process the data flows from one module to other module. So that is nothing but stub in top down approach, whereas the temporary code what they have used in bottom up approach is a driver. But we no need to worry about what is stub, what is driver and all, just to understand. In the development team will update you, okay, we are using the stub to integrate so and so modules. Then you need to understand that, okay, stub means it is a temporary code they have implemented and integrated. To make you understand even in real time way, that is the reason the terminologies are little bit important for us. Okay, if a developer says that, okay, I have used stub to integrate so and so modules, we cannot ask him what is stub. Stub is a temporary code. Stub is a temporary code. That's it. Okay. Yeah. So that is about the white box testing levels. And what is black box testing levels? Okay, white box testing levels are there. Black box also again testing levels are there. Module level testing, module level testing, integration level of testing, system level testing, user accept user acceptance level of testing, pre-production and production. Pre-production and production level of testing. Okay, in the black box also we are going to perform different levels of testings for our application. In each level of testings we are going to cover some of the things. So white box usually taken care by the development team. We no need to worry about that because they are doing testing through source code. Black box, we all are black box testers. We don't know how they developed the code. We need not require to understand the code what they have written. So black box testing levels is talks about testing the application through GUI. Through GUI we are trying to test it. Yeah, so through GUI we are trying to test this. One is module level testing, integration level, system level, UAT, user acceptance testing, pre-production and production. So black box level testings are done by the testing team. Black box level of testings are done by the testing team. Again, 6 levels of testings are used to perform: module level, integration level, system level, user acceptance level, pre-production and production level of testing. So module level means again, so some individual functionality we are going to test it, and individual functionality we are going to verify whether it is working correctly or not. So individual functionalities we are going to verify each and everything, whatever the development team is given to us, that we need to verify whether it is working correctly or not. That is about the module level of testing. Integration means again combining the modules. We need to verify data flows are happening from one module to other module. That is integration level of testing. Coming to the system level of testing, we are going to understand the entire application on different platforms, like different browsers, different operating systems, different hardware configuration, different software configurations. That is system level of testing. And user acceptance level of testing is talks about user acceptance done by the usually by the testers who are having clear understanding from the client side people or end users. End users, what level of knowledge, what level of I mean, what are all the functionalities they are expecting from us by the end users. That understanding we need to have. I think UAT people will know what the end users are expectation is. So that is the reason they will think in that perspective and they will try to verify. That will be done by the UAT team. User acceptance testing. User mainly they will focus on the usability and as well as functionalities. Usability and functionalities they are going to verify. Next one is pre-production. Pre-production is something like before we are sending the application to the live environment. In the pre-production, we are going to verify whether everything is working correctly or not. This environment is similar to the production. This environment is similar to the production, and we are going to verify whether it is working everything fine or not. Last one is the production, where we are going to send the application to the live environment where anybody can access it. There also we are going to perform some sort of testing and ensure everything is working correctly or not. Okay, so that is about the black box testing levels, but I will give you more details about black box in the next sessions. Yeah, but for now that is the understanding you need to have. After black box is completed, tomorrow, yeah, we need to enter into the SDLC models, software development lifecycle models, and we will see one by one what are all the drawbacks, advantages of the SDLC models. And once traditional models are completed, let we enter into the Agile model. And Agile model also we will see practically, yeah, one by one, and we will continue with the course. Okay, so let me stop here. So for today, uh, okay, so tomorrow again I am going to cover the more in depth into the black box testing levels. Yeah. So any other questions, anything which you are having?
No, sir.
Is everything clear?
Yeah.
Are you able to follow everything?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Is I'm going anything fast or is it
No,
fine?
it's okay.
It's okay, right? So
Yeah.
these are all the theoretical part will be there, another 3, 4
Yeah, it's
sessions.
theoretical.
Yeah, so because you need to know all these things, otherwise you may not understand the things properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the reason you need to know all these things. Once we enter into the practical part, then you will understand the how to write the scenarios, how to write the test cases, and what is test plan, how to prepare that, how to raise the bugs in the Jira tool, how to maintain the Jira board in Jira. So these are
Mm-hmm.
all the things are practical. But beginning, yes, another 3, 4 classes on theoretical part, and then we will enter into the practical part. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, these 3, 4 sessions, yes, we need to understand the what is SDLC. So SDLC models, Agile model, and everything. So these are all the things are very very important. And in the interview and all, they may ask you questions on what is SDLC, software development life cycle, what are all the phases are there, what is STLC, software testing life cycle, what are all the phases are there. So these are all the things usually they will ask in the interview. That is
Mm-hmm.
the reason we need to have thorough knowledge on all these. What is black box testing? What is white box testing? What is gray box? And how many types of levels of testings will be there? These are all the very very important questions. Testing methodologies like static testing, white box, black box, gray box. So these are all the questions they may ask you in the interview and all. Yes, we need to have thorough knowledge on all these. Then only we can able to clear the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another 3, 4 sessions, the theoretical part will be there, and then we will enter into the practical part. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
until then, try to understand each and everything whatever I am explaining.
Yeah.
So yeah, any questions and anything, I have given my mail ID to you. You can always send a mail to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So recording sessions you are getting from Navita, right? Daily.
Yeah, yesterday she shared me the recording video, but actually video is playing online, right? I'm not able to download it. So I think that there is a option, but I'm not